This is Latina Life.
Dropping out. I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do law school. Yeah. I'm so done.
Puro 956 right here.
I don't know who you think you are. You know, I'm not gonna, it makes me aggressive. You want to see aggressive?
It makes me want to be.
Yeah, give me that. Like literally, give me that. I'm joking, but I'm not.
It's good. The fact that you don't like me as much as I do is weird.
That's odd.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Latina Live. This is my friend and guest. I'm so excited to have you. This is Giselle. Giselle, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Well, I'm Giselle. I go to law school with Julie. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you.
Oh my gosh, I have been waiting so long.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So we were in the same section. We have a mutual friend who was last week's podcast, Emily. Yeah, that's our girl.
Mutual friend.
Yeah.
I just kind of know her a little bit.
She's just the homie. No, they're like this. They're like peanut butter and jelly. Yeah, they're so dope. But I'm so excited to have you. So I know that you just went to Disney World.
Yeah, I just got back in I went the last week of May.
Yeah. And we're like kind of middle of June. Middle of the June.
Middle of the June.
The June? No,
yes.
Middle of June. But so
I actually, real quick, I still have my Disney nails.
Oh my god.
Look at I have the little Mickey.
Oh my god. I'll put a picture so they can see it so you're not like, yeah, but that's so cute.
They're all grown out, so I'll put a picture of
the
fresh ones.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's so cute though. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so I'll add in photos of your Disney trip that you send me, but what was like your favorite experience there?
Oh my god, I don't know. I loved it all. So I had been to Disney whenever I was like really little.
Right.
So we went in 2003.
Oh my gosh.
And my parents actually hadn't been back. That was honestly one of my favorite parts, is that my parents hadn't gone in 20 years.
Oh, that's so true. I was like trying to do the math. I'm like 11. I'm like, wait.
21.
Yeah.
So that was really cool to get to see them go through it, because like I was a little girl when we went together. And then, but I went back in 2021 with my sister and my nephew.
Ooh.
And that was like a blast, but it was also still like COVID time.
Right.
So some things were limited. Like it was just like a little bit different. So this was my first time being back. They had all these new rides. I got on Cosmic Rewind for the first time.
What's that?
Oh my God. It's the Guardians of the Galaxy ride in Epcot.
How cool.
It is legit. Like it is my favorite ride.
That's so
It was
cool.
so cool.
I love that.
And then I got to do Drink Around the World at Epcot.
Saw that.
Girl, it took me out.
Were you super lit?
I was so lit.
Oh my
By
god!
the end of the night, it was cool. The pace was good, and then all of a sudden we had 3 countries left, and we're like, they're about to close. We have to finish this. I chugged my last 2 drinks.
Oh my god!
And then like everything was cool. I got to the Skyliner because our hotel was connected through the Skyliner, so we get on it to go back. And I'm on the Skyliner. Everything's cool. On the walk from the Skyliner to our hotel room,
it all hit you.
It all hit.
You're like, okay.
It all hit.
Disney is great. I'm going to bed. I asked Giselle to make like a private story on Snapchat for me so that I could, because I love watching my friends
That's
travel.
Right.
I love watching my friends travel, and she made one, and so I got to watch her whole experience, and it was so dope. Ugh, I felt like I was at Disney World. I was like, did I just do the drinks around the world? Am I cultured now?
Look at that.
Look what I did. No, that's so dope though. It was so cool watching that.
I actually would not have filmed as much if Julie hadn't asked me to make that private story.
I love seeing it. I love seeing it.
We did Fits of the Day. My sister really liked that.
So cute.
But it's so funny because my mom was actually like, are you an influencer now? Like, what's happening? Because I was filming so much, and I was like, well, I'm gonna be.
She's influencing me. No, it was super cool. I love that. I love watching you travel. One thing I will say is when I graduate, that's when one of the big things that I want to do is travel a lot.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as I get my big girl job, as soon as I can get my time off, I'm getting my time
some
off.
PTO finally.
Right. Yeah. Like a structured schedule would be so dope, because I'm going to be out of here. I'm going to be at Disney World as soon as I can.
Yes, as you should. So I traveled in college, like through my school.
Oh, cool.
So while I was in school, I went to Canada, Peru, and Cuba.
Okay. Cool.
I will say I've never been like to the other side of the world.
I'm
so
like,
that's
bad at geography. I'm like, what's the other side? Bad at geography. No, continue.
So yes, I do want to like a big girl job, like make it to the other side, like Europe, Asia, Africa, like
that's cool.
All that.
That's cool.
Because I've been kind of up and down.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I went my sophomore year of college. I went to Cuba for a week, and I'm pretty sure that was back when like the border was still closed with Cuba. So I was like one of the last few people to like go before the border opened.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like a program through my school, so like it was like an exception. It was really cool.
That's so dope.
The class was like this. It was like they were called Denison seminars because I went to this tiny school, and so the classes were mixing two different subjects together into one, and then as part of the class they took you. So it was like everything was paid and everything.
What?
Yeah. So it was
That's
dope.
nuts. I've never heard of that before. That's so cool.
So we went for spring break. We spent a whole week there. We even met like some of the authors that we were reading in the class.
That's
it was
so
dope.
cool.
I smoked a Cuban cigar on the Cuban beach.
That's cool.
With a pineapple drink in my hand.
I love that.
Like
I love
iconic.
Yeah, you did it. You're like, I made it. So,
I made it. Like
yeah.
this is me.
You said you're pretty close with your family.
Yeah, I'm super close with them.
Yeah, and I know you're a Salvadorian, right?
Yeah.
Are you like first gen or?
Yeah, so my parents came from El Salvador,
Wow.
I think in the 70s.
Okay.
70s, 80s, somewhere around there. They came when they were really little, like thinking back, I'm like, they were like 14, 18 years old. And like,
babies.
they were babies. Like my heart hurts sometimes.
Yeah, to think about it.
Yeah, but I'm like, man, they did that.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, like, at Disney, like, we were all kind of like, bro, like, y'all made it. Like,
Yeah.
y'all are here
Oh, that
paying
gives
for like
me- you can't
this
see my
like
arms, but I have chills.
expensive resort. Like, when would you have ever thought? Like,
Yeah.
we're from this tiny town in El Salvador, like up in the fucking mountains.
That's so dope. That's so dope.
And so yeah, so like they came over here, and so a lot of my family has come over here by now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was like first generation. My parents don't speak any English.
And here you are.
And here I am.
Ugh, I'm gonna cry. That's so awesome. I love that because I feel like Latino households are so family oriented.
Yeah.
So like one win is a win for everybody, right?
Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure, for
And-
sure.
And so being able to see you, like us being in the same class, you graduating, like it's really going to be a really cool. Now that I know your story, it's going to be really cool to see your family come full circle and be like, I came here as a 14-year-old or an 18-year-old, and now my daughter's an officer of the law here. You know,
it's fucking crazy.
That's crazy. That's so amazing.
Yeah. Oh my god, how crazy do you find it to be like, hey, yeah, I'm a 3L.
I feel like it's a joke. Like I'm a 3L. I'm just kidding. I gotta go to torts. You know what I mean?
I gotta go to torts.
Yeah. No.
We're about to have to learn torts again.
No. Could you imagine? Would you do 1L again?
I think I would.
I wouldn't.
I think I would do 1L again. I don't know if I'd do 2L again.
No, real. Okay. I agree with you. I'll do 1L again. 2L,
I could do 1L again.
2L was a different beast. When I was talking to Emily on the other podcast, I said that 2L. Okay, so 1L is like having a newborn. 2L is like having a toddler. They're both super hard, but like in different ways. And I'd rather have the newborn.
100%.
I'd rather have the newborn. They sleep all day. No, it's real. That's Facebook group, the Ladies in Law.
Yeah.
So I asked in there, what are some common misconceptions about people in law, or even specifically women in law? And they responded. So I wanted to see what they said and then like how we feel and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay. They said another misconception about us is that we are dishonest and only out to make money. That we are all rich. That sucks that that's not true.
That really does. You can't tell me that we're not all rich when I'm like
studying super hard,
neck deep in books and loans.
Yeah. That we take advantage of people, and the list goes on. That's so funny. It's so true though, because anytime I tell someone I'm studying law or going to be a lawyer or whatever, they're like, "Oh, so you're a liar."
Oh yeah, that's,
No.
like they really look at you suspiciously because you wanted to become a lawyer.
They're like, "Why would you do that?"
Yeah,
Like,
they're
wait,
like,
what?
They're liars and cheats.
No, they're not. and like in every profession, you have a liar and a cheat. But like, no, we're not. Okay, the next one is, they said people think we're either overly emotional. Oh, this one was specifically about women in law.
Okay.
People think that we're either overly emotional or hard A's or B's. It doesn't feel like people see anything in between. I'd also like to add that I don't see anything wrong with being emotional. I'm extremely emotional, but I don't think it makes me a less effective employee. Same with being strong or assertive, or the ability to separate emotions from your work. That's so real.
That hit.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
As a woman, like, either you're feminine or you're dominant. You can't be both. right? You can't be emotional and you can't be strong. You can't be both of those things at once. And I think that's literally the opposite of the truth, you know?
Completely.
Yeah. I think because I am a very emotional person and I'm very sensitive. So for me, that makes me a better attorney, you know? That makes me a better lawyer.
Yeah. It makes me care. It's honestly what led me to becoming a lawyer.
Right.
And I feel like sometimes I suffer from the fact, not suffer, but like I'm labeled more as like distant and and it's just the fact that you get hit with those labels like up front, because I am kind of like not very emotional outwardly, when actually I'm in my car crying all the time.
I think everybody's emotional.
And so that's the thing, is that like, and I don't know if it's something that like I built just like from seeing these labels happen, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to be looked at like as emotional. But then like I grew up and I was like, well, I kind of do, but I am like, I am both these things.
Yeah. That I had a boss tell me once that I should be wearing skirts, not trousers. I have never once worn a dress skirt. I like to be fully covered. And this will grind my gears every time I hear it, every time I talk about it, because if I want to wear a pantsuit, I can wear a pantsuit.
I 100% agree.
Like,
I listen, and the funny thing is that like I like dresses. I will wear a dress.
Me too.
But the moment you tell me I have to, I'm like,
I will be in the most pantsuity pantsuit.
Literally, you know what? I'm gonna wear your pantsuit.
Take it off, and I'm gonna put it on. No, literally.
I saw this attorney, and she's like this awesome badass woman. She's an attorney in Florida. She does like
the pink one, the one in pink. No, not that one.
Maybe, I don't know. She does criminal appeals. She's not on TikTok anymore. But she does criminal appeals. And she used to make these TikToks about like being told like she couldn't wear this or this to court, and then she would show up in her like red suit or pink suit or like blue suit. And it's like a pantsuit. It fit her so good. And she'd win her case, and like she'd literally be freeing people from their death.
Wow.
In a pink suit. Yeah. And she was like, this is to all the people that told me you have to wear black to court. Yeah. Like,
But yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions about people in the legal field, especially women. One is that we all like to argue. I will argue. I will do that, but I have a lot of friends who just they're like, whatever.
Yeah,
you're not
I feel like I'm kind of in between.
Right. That's what I think. Yeah. I have a lot of friends who are like, dude, I don't really care about that. Yeah. Don't put me in a courtroom.
I have a hard time caring about things sometimes. And so it's like if it pays me no mind, I'm not gonna argue about it. I'm like chill. Yeah. Now if it's something that just like hits me, I'm fighting to the death.
Yeah, and I'm winning. I'm gonna win.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing, is like I will argue when I know I win.
Right. Like I heard this thing like, don't go to trial unless you know you're gonna win.
And that's me.
Yeah, that's real. Actually, I think I got that from Suits.
It is from Suits.
Yeah. But
my man Harvey.
I love Harvey. I like Mike though. I like Mike.
Oh, do you? Yeah. He's like cute, but like he's like cute and a little brother. Like
I can see that. I like
Harvey. Had my heart at 15 years old.
It's just for me, like I feel like if I ended up, or I try to pursue a guy, or a guy try to pursue me that's like Harvey, we're gonna end up like brawling.
Oh, I could totally see that.
Yeah, because I'm like, you're not the alpha here.
Yeah,
you're not the big dog.
Yeah,
sorry.
And see, I'm more of a like, I'm gonna let you think you're the alpha, and I'm gonna let you behave that way because I like it.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but at the same time, like, sit down.
I don't think you would let it.
Right.
Like you're not. Yeah. And I would let it.
Yeah.
Like
it's attractive.
I'd be. Yeah. I just like, I love the idea of like letting you think you're in control, and it's like I'm letting you have that control.
Right. That's the ultimate. That's like the person who actually is in control. Which, like, now that I think about it, is like maybe I need to rethink my life.
Not the existential crisis
in the middle of a podcast. Suits actually. So when they do trial, I think it's so funny because they're never just question and answer. They're just talking.
Yeah.
And they're like, no further questions.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't a question. But
like, actually, you would have been thrown out of court right now.
Yeah. That's so funny. The misconception is the whole show.
Yeah, I really loved the lawyer parts and like the court parts in SVU.
Oh,
Barba. Okay, if I ever wanted to be like someone, if I've ever fallen in love with someone, it is Barba.
Yep.
Like,
that's so real.
and then just like him, I would let him talk the entire time.
Barbara might be in control. You know what?
Yeah.
I'll hand over the reins a little. Barbara, you got it. You know what? No, literally.
Where it's like, I was in 7th grade. I decided I wanted to be an attorney. I had a teacher talk to me. It was like, we were like in the, you know, the section in like history class where they teach you about the Supreme Court and like the big cases, like Brown v. Board of Education.
Right.
Like you learn those. So we were in that section, and I guess it was like the time that I was more engaged or whatever. Mm-hmm. And my teacher sat with me, and like we were making these note cards, and he asked me, like if I knew what I wanted to do, or like if I had any sort of like dreams.
Yeah.
And like he kind of brought up like lawyering and stuff.
Yeah.
And like I was like, it clicked. My brain said, okay. And I remember I was watching Bones at the time, and like I would watch The Attorney there, and like she was awesome.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, like it was just like all this was adding to it, and I was like, yes, this is what I want to do. Well, then I get to college, and I'm about to graduate, and I'm like, oh, I should have probably started studying for the LSAT 6 months ago.
It'd be like that. It'd be like that.
And then I was like, but you know what, like, I haven't actually thought about law school in a really long time. I'm only thinking about it now because it's time.
Yeah.
So I was like, so is this really what I want to do? And then I was like, do I even know what a lawyer does? Didn't, by the way. But so I was like, okay, let me not go into debt. Let me not go straight into this. So I graduated, came back home because I was in Ohio, came back home, had no job, and I was like, okay, let me apply to be a legal assistant. Okay. So I became a paralegal for like 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
And,
what kind of firm?
Okay. So my first one was an immigration firm. It was super tiny. Wow. Took everything out of me. Like
because it was a small firm.
It was a small firm.
You really relied on
I ended up being in charge.
Yeah.
At 22.
Wow. Yeah. That's nuts.
So it and the topic. Like I can't do immigration. It's so heavy. So I couldn't do it. It literally, like, I don't think I've ever hit, after I quit that job, I don't think I've ever been more depressed than I was. Like, it's like I was on survival mode for like the last year of that job. And like it would take everything for me to get out of bed. And so whenever I quit, like I just hit like major depression, but I was like, but I also got to see how much I helped people.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, this is still what I want to do. Like, this isn't just some like dream I had as a child. Like, it's actually reality. And so after I quit that job, that's when I had already taken the LSAT. And I was like, okay, let me apply to school. And so I did apply. And then I went to work before like actually going to law school, like the year before that, I went to work for I think it was like 6 months. But anyway, besides the point, I went to work. I was a litigation assistant at a mass tort firm.
Oh,
and that so cool. Was like,
for people who don't know what litigation is what you think of like when people are in trial, asking questions, making arguments, objecting.
It's trial, basically.
Yeah. Because when people would say litigation to me before then, I'd be like, what is that?
Yeah, I wouldn't get it either.
Yeah, but so then you worked litigation.
Yeah, so I did mass torts. So mass torts is whenever you have like all these people that were harmed by the same thing, and so you file one suit with all the names. It's different from a class action, because a class action, you have to be designated a class and you kind of share the award money. This is individual suits being filed as one.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, hypothetically speaking, right? Let's say somebody gets, like, they're in a building and then a fire happens and everybody's burned. That would be a mass tort. Yeah. Because they're not a specified class of people. Exactly. They're not a certain type of person.
Yeah. So a lot of the stuff I worked on was like medical malfunctions, like machines. And there was like the hernia mesh case that was big.
What was that?
So people were getting hernia surgeries, and the type of mesh that they sew on you afterwards for you to heal and for like, I don't know, things to happen, that was defective, and it was actually causing problems. Yeah, so that was that was a pretty big case. That case was like, we were like in the middle of that whenever I started at that firm.
Wow.
So I didn't really work much on that one. It's not
awesome that happened. It's awesome that you worked on it.
Yeah. So and like that, honestly, like I was like, oh, like this is cool.
Yeah, this is for me.
Yeah, this is for me. Like, it felt so right. I was so happy at that firm.
Yeah.
And that was the thing, is that like I said, from the other firm, I was so depressed afterwards that like it almost tainted everything. But then I got to go to this one and I was like, oh no, it's
like, no, I
not
can do this.
tainted.
Yeah. What made me decide to be an attorney is my high school debate coach. Oh, his name is David Gardner. Shout out to you, David Gardner. He changed my life, literally. I still to this day, talk about him in such with high respect because so the high school I went to, it was like IB. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
So it was IB. So I wasn't an IB. And so I didn't have, I was a community kid. That's what it was called. Yeah.
I'm not a community
What a jab,
kid.
right? And
what a
whatever.
jab.
Yeah.
It's like when urban became a thing.
Oh, yeah. They're like streetwear. Or like people start wearing like Chicano makeup and they're like,
yes.
What is it? I don't know what they call it. Something else, but
I don't know. All I can think is like the clean girl.
Yeah.
It's a clean girl, right? Yeah.
I'm like, first of all, give me my brown lip liner back. Give it back to me.
No, facts.
What are you doing? Yeah. No, but anyway, so I was a community kid, and so I didn't have all of the same resources as the other kids, right? A lot of them were in debates since like 6th grade. They had private debate coaches. Yeah. So I came in my sophomore year, and I was just like, let's do it. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's fun and I like it. And he, Gardner was still coaching another school. Well, I like knocked one of his kids out of a tournament or something. Somehow I came on his radar, right? And he was like, Like he came up and he was like, nice to meet you, noticed you. Then he ends up coming to coaching at our school. And changed my life. That was like the first time I had a coach like believe in me and push me. He called me Shank. Cause I was just like, that's just me,
That's so you, Julie. Like, that's so you.
I've been the same way since high school. I've been very like, cutthroat, and so
I love that.
All it takes is one person believing in you.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
You sometimes don't want to be seen as a stereotype,
right?
And because some of these stereotypes are harmful.
Super harmful.
They're so harmful. Yeah. And it's like the fact that I fall into them, like I'm like, oh yeah, like that is me,
right.
But that doesn't mean that it's for everyone, you know, for all Latinas out there.
We're all different.
Yeah, we are all different. It just happens that I happen to fall into like this stereotype.
Yeah. The funniest one that like I can think of, because that's the most common misconception about Latinas, which for me it's not a misconception, is that we're all crazy. Like the crazy Latina stereotype is so funny. For me, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna own that I am. But it's, you know what I think that it is? People use the word crazy in the wrong way, right? So for me, I don't know how you were raised, but for me, my mom raised me to be strong. Yeah. And don't let anybody walk all over you. Don't let no one tell you anything. Don't let no one talk to you crazy. And to some people, that might be crazy.
Right.
That's like, oh, she's crazy. She's not letting me disrespect her. That's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? If that's considered crazy, then I'm crazy.
Then I'm okay with that.
Right.
Yeah. No, I was the same way. So it was really like, my dad was like, take no BS from anyone. Right. Like, you are you, and you, first of all, don't need anybody else. Right. Like, you have your family, you have us. Right. And I think that comes from the tight-knit family, that it just makes you so secure in yourself. Yeah. And so secure in what you're going to do. That, like, you come off a little, like, aggressive. Yeah. And it's like, it's actually not aggression. I'm just, like, sure of myself.
Right.
Like,
I just know who I am.
I just know who I am.
Something that I've learned is to learn to be okay being alone. Yeah. And like in your solitude, there's so much like peace, and there's so much like just calmness that can happen. Yeah. And I love it. And it's going to be so hard when I actually end up like dating someone to give that up, because like, God, I love being alone.
Oh my God, I love being alone, Julie.
And like, it's crazy because I've never been like that. I've always been very like, honestly, codependent. Like I had friends that I would always be with, or my family, I would always be with them. Like I never wanted to be alone. And now that I have, like, I live alone and I'm like pretty much alone all the time. Like, I'm like, okay, you got to be so special for me to want to give this up,
With dating and like
Even
everything.
friends.
Yeah, I was like, even friends. I'm like, just because I don't need you doesn't mean I don't want you.
That's so real.
And so it's like you do have to be really special for me to want you.
I gotta really want you.
I gotta really want you. But like, I've always been super independent, and I've always been. I'm very much an introvert, so it's like I get all my energy from being alone. Which is funny because I'm also kind of a little bit of a party girl.
That's funny. You're like
so,
letting your battery out.
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna go
and then I'm gonna go recharge.
Yeah.
And then you won't see me for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
One thing that I've kind of been telling myself lately has been like, this just wasn't for you. Like this was not for me. It was not what I needed at this moment in my life.
Yeah.
These are not the people that I want to be around right now.
Yeah.
That may change, or I guess like my thing is like I'm trying real hard to like not make it about like them being a bad person or like me having done something.
Yeah.
It's more of like, you know what, the energies did not match.
Yeah, it's not for me.
It's not for me.
And that's such a great way of looking at things. I've always thought about that with relationships too. Like it's not that I wasn't enough. It's not that they weren't enough. It's just it wasn't us. Yeah, it's not for me. And the great thing is that there's someone is for me. There is a friend for me. You know what I mean? That's like the beauty of it. It's like, okay, you weren't, so then I still have yet to meet the person who is.
Yeah, exactly. It's just another opportunity.
Yeah.
And it's another opportunity to grow.
Yep.
But even us, like, we were friends like from the get-go, but like we weren't close.
Right. Super tight, yeah.
Yeah. And so it just like, it hadn't come to that point, and then all of a sudden it was, and now look at us.
Yeah. And I'm sure that it was like something like maybe we weren't ready yet, or you know what I mean? Our lives didn't align yet. And then here we are. But ever since, even before we became friends, I always noticed like even how you hold yourself and how you walk, it's just like this is me, Yeah. And I love that about you. I love it.
Yeah. I was like, well, it's so funny whenever you said that, like even when we weren't super close, you still saw me, because I always saw you, and I was always like, stop, because I've been rooting for you from like day one.
I love
like
that.
you have such a good presence.
Thanks.
And like a big energy, like and like you just like you're here for people, and I always admired that.
Thanks. No, I appreciate that. I always try and make it a point to make people feel welcome around me, because there was a point in my life that I needed that. I needed someone to just be an open door. And anyway, so I appreciate that, and I'm glad that I give that energy.
Yeah.
You are a tia.
I am. Oh my god. Talk about making me cry. My little baby. That's like my child.
Niece or nephew?
Nephew.
He
is 7 years old. He's about to go to 2nd grade.
A
baby. But like now, okay, so like recently I've been looking at him, and I was like, you don't have the like little baby face anymore. Like he looks like a child.
Yeah.
And I'm not okay.
A kid, yeah.
He's a kid. And then I have these like conversations with him, and like I like have like an out of body experience, because I'm like, first of all, why are you old enough to talk like this? Like,
who taught you this?
Who taught you this?
When did you learn this?
And he's like so entertaining.
Yeah.
He's so funny. He's such a good kid. Like he just like I can't even explain it. But yeah, like he was telling me about like his like drama with his friends, and then but he like in his own little life. I was like, who are you?
You were just a baby wrapped in a blanket. Yeah. Like, how did that happen?
Yeah. Aww. One time my sister was like mad at something, or something had happened, and he goes, "Mommy, you have to talk about your feelings. Like, just like, it doesn't matter what they are, just say them, and we can talk about them."
That's so amazing. Shout out to your sister. That's big work, especially coming from like a Latino household. We don't ever talk about our feelings.
Well, we were very much the household that's like, you see no emotions unless they're happy.
Right.
And laughing, and like everything else that's not that, you put it behind doors.
Yep.
Yeah.
So hearing your nephew, a generation below us, like articulate that at such a young age, that's so dope. I love that. That's
hard work.
Your sister broke a generational curse.
She did.
That's tough. Yeah. Shout out to her. Do you want kids?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. Well, okay. I say that I don't want kids all the time, right? But then I got diagnosed with PCOS, and that day they told me, they're like, hey, so probably it's gonna be really hard for you to have kids.
Damn.
And I had like a whole breakdown, I was just like distraught. So I was like, wait, do I want kids? Like,
yeah.
But I think it's more just like I want to be the one to decide that.
That makes sense.
But I still like, I don't know. I think I just want to be a tia.
I love being a tia. And like I said, which we've talked about how I'm so family oriented. We lived together whenever I came back from Ohio. So, because he was born while I was up there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was. My best friend loves to tell me how he held Mateo first. Oh. Because I was still in Ohio.
That's so lame.
You're like, right. I literally tell him, I was like, please don't ever talk to me again.
You're like, blocked.
Actually. Yeah, because I was because he was born in January. Mm-hmm. I literally left, and a week later he was born. Aww. Like, I was here for winter break. I left. A week later he was born.
I see his personality already. He's
from the freaking womb.
Yeah.
Literally messing with me. Which I'm his godmother. My sister's best friend is his godfather. That's like her ride or die.
Right.
He paid for a plane ticket for me to come meet my nephew in February. Because I wasn't supposed to meet him until June.
Dang.
Yeah.
He would have been a big baby.
He would have been a big baby. Yeah. And instead I got to hold him as a newborn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Yeah. Big shout out to him.
That's
because he did that.
Yeah.
So I lived with him. And so like I did get to help raise him. So like I'm always like, that's my kid.
No,
like,
yeah.
That is my child.
That's your baby.
Yeah. And so, but it did teach me, like, I was like, I don't want children.
Yeah.
I actually, people look at me and they're like, oh, you're still young. Like, you'll change your mind.
No, I won't.
But I've been saying since I was like a teenager that I don't want kids.
Yeah.
It's just never been something that that's like in me. Like, it's not that like I don't have a motherly instinct. I learned that I do.
Yeah.
It's just that like that's not the type of life I want for myself, and that's not the type of life I would want for the type of life that I want is not one that I would want for my child.
Got it.
So it's like the way that I want to live is not conducive to children.
Yeah.
And so I'm choosing that.
Yeah. Choose yourself. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But I get what you're saying about the PCOS. Like it's like, once you take the choice away from me,
wait a minute.
It's like, oh, like it's no longer me making this choice.
Yeah, it's not. That's not fair. Yeah. But I mean, it's funny that you say people are like, oh, you'll change your mind and stuff. Like for me, so I come from a really huge family, right? Mm-hmm. Lots of cousins, and
same.
A lot of my cousins already have babies. All of them are. They start like at. I think it's young, but it's just our normal age, I guess, for my family to have kids. Like
I feel that.
I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel super young, but they're super great moms and they're responsible and stuff. So
I see that all the time.
Yeah.
I see people my age or even younger. I'm about to be 28. Like it's totally normal, but I'm a child.
Yeah. Like if I saw this comedian and she was like, I forget that I'm like super grown because my friends will be like, I'm pregnant, and she's like, what are you gonna do?
Yes.
Yeah, and she's like, have it in my house with my husband.
With my husband?
Yeah. Oh, right. Forgot about that.
Like it was actually planned.
Say congratulations. Actually, I'm happy for this. No, yeah, but I don't know. I guess for me, it's like something else that really bothers me is that we're expected, and it's like weird when we don't have kids.
Yeah,
and it grinds my gears. Did you see that? Video of that guy making the speech, the football player, I think.
Oh my god, the stupid kicker.
Yeah. And he's like, your life doesn't start until you have a husband,
until you have a child.
Kids, something like that.
Yeah, he basically was like, you were worthless until the moment you have kids and you dedicate your lives to take care of them.
And then I loved all the responses, like all the girls with their like degree. I mean, even the moms too, but the girls with their degrees, like all like with their like super cool big girl jobs, and I was just like, because my life already started.
Right. I've been living my life.
Yeah. Okay, so on a first date, do you think that it's like the guy should pay for it, or how do you feel?
Okay, that is a hard question because I do like when I have like my first date paid for. I try to go into dates not expecting it.
Yeah.
And so, but like, it does make me feel special.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's more of like, yeah, like that makes me feel special. And I would want to do that for someone too.
Yeah. I would return the favor in another way.
Yeah. I was like, but I will say like, I do like to be paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a preference. I think for me, like, growing up, my dad always made a very big point to be like he set the standard, set that standard real high.
Yeah, I feel
Real
that.
high.
I feel that. Because I also saw that, like, my dad was the dad that, like, if I was hanging out with my cousins, if we went out to eat, he was making sure to pay for things.
Right. My dad too. My dad too.
Like, and so, or like, if I had a friend over and he was going to bring me a candy, he'd bring them something.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's a way I've always received care and love. And so that's a way that I would want someone that I'm dating, a man that's interested in me,
to love you,
me, and to care for me.
I had such a great time.
Me too.
I had such a great time.
I love
Anytime
it.
you want to come back,
I was like, I'm gonna be back.
Yo, literally, anytime you want to come back, because there's always new things. There's always new things to talk about. There's always like discussions to be had. But I had such a great time. If you want to plug any of your socials, let me know. I'll add it like right now. Giselle's a great person to add to your network because she's just great. Like, she's very real and genuine and raw. Like, that's what I love about Giselle. And if you ever need someone to look up to, Giselle's a good person to look up to.
Stop.
No, I really do.
Now you're making me cry.
No, yeah, I really look up to Giselle. It's just like, I feel like I can be completely myself with you, and that's so rare.
I love that. I'm glad.
Yeah,
that's all I want.
No, you like that's
it.
Like,
I just,
that's it.
Yeah, I just like I'm very much myself, and I want other people to be very much themselves.
Yeah. So my mom taught me this. I keep like trying to end the episode, but I'm
I know, me too. I was like, I was with you, and now we're getting started right back up.
Yeah. No, but my mom taught me that because your light shines, you shouldn't turn your light off, because your light shining gives other people permission to shine their light. Like, think about walking into a room and like no one's dancing. If you start dancing, then everyone will start dancing.
Yeah.
So like with you, like this, that's how I feel about you. Like you kind of give me permission to be myself. Yeah. And I love that.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. You guys tune in next week. There will be another very special guest, but thank you so much for coming. And this has been Latina Live. Bye.